just got back from work. It's Tuesday afternoon and it's supposed to be in the 20s for the low in the next few days. And so I have to get some firewood cut up. I've got some cherry that I need to split. And behind me here, that's where I'm going to be putting the flowers. In my last video I was showing you that I was planting for the germination. You see my goat right there. I'm going to be planting all of this in flowers all the way up, and the opening up there I will be putting more on the other side of those woods. For now I'm just going to split some firewood, so I have that for the next few nights. So I'm out of breath from chopping that wood a little bit, but we burn for about 5 to 6 months straight. And this is our primary source of heat. And most of the time you see I'm really low on what I need. Most of the time I stack it way up here, probably 6-7 foot where I can reach it. And we've went through this here. It's this is a 10 by 12 spot right here that I've measured out. Another thing I'll say about this is that last year we almost ran out. This is our second year here and we're learning. It's a learning curve every time. And that's good to know. I can measure based on this year and last year of what the winters might be, and it just varies. Wet wood, dry wood, and so we try to cure it for quite a while before we get started. So that's something we'll do this summer, is try to fill this thing back up. I'm gonna jump back over here and try to finish this up. I stopped for just a second because this is who came over to see me. We call her Bambi, and she was one of the littlest out of her brothers and sisters, and there was 3 of them. So she gave triplets as a purebred Nubian, and she's getting big. She kind of does her own creep feeding. You can see all the others are sitting there waiting. For right now, this is just a temporary shelter for all of the goats. Somewhere to keep them dry and somewhere to keep them warm back over in the corner with the stables. But I'm just feeding them right now, and I only feed them about twice a day, a couple pounds, and that's for the mamas because they're still in milk and the babies are starting to creep feed a little bit, and they have free choice of hay constantly. So that does it for taking care of the goats this afternoon. You can see one back there. It's Wednesday, March 3rd now, and my family and I came over to take care of our feeder pigs, and we'll give you a little more detail and information on how we do that and why we do that. The goat got off the chain, so I have to catch him. Come here. Come here. It's okay, buddy. And then he ran.
Go pet it? Go pet it? We're out here at my parents' house, their land. That's where we keep our pigs. We don't actually have enough land for them at our house, so we just keep them here and we cost share, and then we'll both get a hog when it's all done.
And you can see it looks like she was crying because one of the goats that I was just chasing on the time lapse stood up at her and looked like she was going to get rammed.
He's not a mean goat though at all. He's just a little bit more like territorial, I guess, more domineering, and he's not always used to her being out here, so he's like, hey. So we just really wanted to drive home the point that you don't have to have maybe enough land or a like fenced in area for all your animals if you have just a small plot of land or if you're renting. And that's why we use my parents some of their land for our hogs, and then we get the same outcome as everyone else. We just, right now we don't have a place for them to be growing on right by our house.
And just to cost share everything, and to split the feed bill, and maybe you might know somebody that's got a farm nearby that you can get corn or silage for a cheap amount. That's kind of what we do. So it helps make up the difference at the moment, and we're doing what we can to be able to have a pig. I would rather have a pig that we can grow on our own instead of go buy it from the store that we don't even know where it came from.
Oh,
That didn't work out
yummy.
well. Hit their head.
Homesteading doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be hard.
Sorry.
And you don't even have to do it all yourself. If you have a community of people, friends, or family that have the same ideas on food and on like being sustainable, then everyone can share. And that's even more beautiful because then it's family, community, and that can't be replaced by anything.
Hey, good afternoon. Came into a dilemma this afternoon. It's Thursday now, and I had to go do some stuff and run some errands during the day. I was telling you last week that I've never had a problem with goats getting out, only one time. Well, Miranda called me, my wife, and they're all out everywhere. That's the facts of living, or not living, but having goats around your house. And people always joked around and said, if you can throw water through a fence, eventually your goats are going to get out. Out of 1 year, I've only had one goat get out, as crazy as that seems. After about 15 minutes, I got the goats back in, and they're all eating over there now some hay. There's 9 of them over there, and the one that I call Big Mama, I'm pretty sure she's the one who busted down the fence and tore the poly wire. All right, we've made it to Friday. I appreciate everybody watching, and as you can see, I'm back in the same place. Got to get some more firewood for tonight. I should probably get it for the whole week. I was getting good at it at in the middle of winter when it was really cold, but there's a lot of new content to come. You'll probably be seeing maybe potentially 3 new goats here next week, and also probably sowing some first seeds up on the hill, calendula and sunflower, next week, hopefully. Also, one last thing to leave you with, Miranda and I started the channel last week. Our impressions and our goals were to hit 100 in the first month. I think that was our first thing, or to hit 100 subscribers in the first month. We're halfway there, and I think we're 6 days in at this point, but it was to hit 100 views on the first video. And on that first video, now we're totaled up to, I think, right at 3,200 views. And we thank you for it, and we appreciate it. Can't wait to show you more videos.